comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So we're back at the process again. What is it? Number 9. Installment number 9 of the process. Last week was I had given up drinking for like 14, 15, 16 months. And it was time to get fucking stuck back in. I didn't even really want to start drinking again. I was always going to start drinking again. I just didn't really feel the fucking need to at the time. Most of it at the time was pressure coming from my wife to start drinking again because she wanted to have fun with me and she didn't really know the extent of what was going on. So she just wanted us to have a few drinks and a little bit of fun, go out, fucking do what a normal couple would do. And I don't blame her. Of course you want that from your partner to a certain extent. And if I'm going to be honest, I thought I had it completely under control now. I knew now I had the willpower to abstain from alcohol. I just proved that over fucking 15, 16 months. So I thought in my head, I have control over it. I can abstain whenever I want to. So if I see it ever getting out of control again, I can just fucking stop. It's as simple as that. Bada bing, bada fucking boom. I found out it doesn't really work like that. So that first drink back after all that time, I remember it. It was down Darling Harbour. Can't remember the bar. They're all fucking the same down there. Piece of shit bars, corporate hellholes that Indians like. So it was like a schmitty of beer. And schmitties fucking pissed me off to begin with. So it was a schmitty of flat beer. A schmitty, by the way, is in Australia, you can get a beer in a pot, which is like a half pint. You can get a schooner, which is almost like the perfect size. They're mainly found in Sydney. And then you get a pint. But these fucking fancy fucking joints figured they could fuck people over just a little bit more. So they invented a schmitty, which is between a half pint and a schooner. And they charge you for the schooner. Sometimes they charge you for the fucking pint. See how fired up I am already about the fucking schmitty? Anyway, this wasn't meant to be part of the process. So I had a schmitty of flat beer, and I remember it just being a massive fucking anticlimax. There was about 10 or 12 of my wife's friends sitting around the table, and I got the beer, and I had a sip, and everyone was watching. I had my first sip. I went, cheers, cheers, cheers. I put the drink down, and just everyone went back to what they were doing. I remember thinking, why is there not a fucking carnival going on? The Boyle is back. But it was seriously anticlimactic, which it always is once you've given up drinking and then go back to it. It's never as good as you think it's going to be. So I had that beer and I had 2 more and I was like, no, I'm not going to have any more. I was very conscious of not wanting to go back to what I was. Like I was really keeping a fucking eye on it. And I didn't even really get that much of buzz from those 3 beers, but I cut it off and I'm like, that's enough. I'm fine. I don't need to fucking drink anymore. So I had that drink. And then over the next 2 weeks, I started catching up with mates I hadn't had drinks with for a while. And I would have a drink with them. I'd have maybe 3 or 4 pints or something like that. And I would stop drinking and everything was sweet. I'd have a couple of drinks with my wife. Everything was totally under control for those 2 weeks. And then I went to Bali. My mate Kel was living in Bali at the time and I wasn't doing anything. So I was like, I'll come over and visit for a month. I'll just fucking hang out with you. So I'd been doing pretty well with the drinking since I restarted for those 2 weeks. I had kept it under control. I hadn't got hammered. I was impressed with myself, actually. I was like, Jesus Christ, I really have developed as a human being. I have character now. I have willpower. I have changed, fundamentally changed as a human being. The first day in Bali, I got fucking hammered on this local fucking Indonesian drink made of like fucking coconut called tua. You're meant to drink it with like respect or something for the fucking ancestors out in Indonesia. And I was given the tua no fucking respect. The only respect I was given it was I was drinking a lot of it. Plus I was non-stop on the bintangs and the vodka. I was having a real fucking good time. Then one of Cal's mates turned up and he was a real older dude and I got it in my head that this dude was a fucking pedophile. So I punched him in the face and then there was a big commotion or whatever. Who gives a fuck? I kept on drinking. Then I started feeling sick. I'm not too sure what really happened after that, but I ended up waking up in the morning on the floor in my own vomit. And I woke up, realized I was in my own vomit, and went back to sleep for a few more hours. I was too fucking hungover. So that was day fucking 1 in Bali. The fucking previous 2 weeks, thrown out the window, the monster was out, and I just went for it. I was straight back to what I was like 17 months ago. A little bit healthier, which was a problem because I wouldn't get knocked out as easy, and I wasn't blacking out as quickly, which does cause a few problems if you're like me. I really gave fucking Bali a good fucking nudge. And then, oh yeah, that's why I was in Bali, because my wife was going back to India. So about halfway through this fucking Bali trip, I decided I'm going to India to see my wife. Like, this was real early days in the relationship. This was like way before she even considered telling her parents about me. I'm like, I'm coming to fucking India. I've given fucking Bali a good nudge. Let's see what we can do in India. So I get over to India and I gave fucking India a great nudge too. I spent 6 weeks in India just fucking nudging everywhere. But immediately, I'm talking about like 3 weeks to a month. Once the monster was out of the bag, everything became more volatile. Our relationship, me and my wife's relationship, as soon as fucking booze got introduced, was just fucking volatile. And she's no fucking shrinking violet either, if that's the fucking saying. I mean, she's Indian and she's pretty fucking volatile herself. Once she's had a few, she'll tell you what the fuck's going on as well. Which, combined with my fucking loud mouth and bullshit, it can get pretty fucking heated. So the relationship, which had been more or less smooth sailing for like 16 months, was now very fucking rocky and very volatile. That came immediately. And so did all my other bullshit, like fucking getting into fights, mouthing off to cunts, overdoing fucking everything, just being a cunt in general, just around the streets. And I was very fucking aware of this. I was like, oh fuck, I'm already back to where I was. That fucking 16 months was fucking worthless. And here's the thing. Here's the fucking big fucking thing. Get your fucking notebooks and take some fucking notes, because this is the thing. I thought that because I did that like 16 months no booze, that I had built up some sort of fucking willpower. The thing is, once I started back again, I couldn't fucking switch it off. It was just as hard to stop again as it was the first time. Maybe even fucking harder. So I was very aware of this. I was like, boozing is not fucking good for me now. I had a clear picture of how things were when I was sober, and a very clear picture of how things are when I'm not sober. And there was no reconciling the difference. I was like, fuck, booze is no good for me. But I couldn't fucking stop. Like, trying to stop again was just as hard as trying to stop the fucking first time. You've got to start with no momentum. The only thing that improved was I did know I could stop if I wanted to. But at this stage, I knew. This wasn't just fucking subconscious now. This was consciously. I consciously knew that I was going to have to fucking give up drinking forever. I knew that. But just because you know something doesn't mean you're going to do it. So then I spent the next 8 years. 8 fucking years. Get that into you. 8 fucking years. That's how long it took from when I consciously knew I had to give up drinking, never drink again, to when I actually stopped drinking forever, when I started this fucking podcast. That's like 8 fucking years. And those 8 years I'm going to call trying to keep alcohol in my life. So that will be next week's episode. Trying to keep alcohol in my life. And I tried every technique there is. But I'll get to that next week. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see ya the fuck later.